6. I got to remember. I'll name them for you. We'll count them up, okay? And let me just be very clear. I think Lamar Jackson is excellent, and maybe he needs a dynamic playmaker to really show what he can do. I'm not discounting that, but I'm talking about right now. Patrick Mahomes, duh. Tom Brady just proved it yet again. Aaron Rodgers, who we were just discussing, of course. Deshaun Watson is amazing. I would take him over Lamar Jackson. Russell Wilson, still, I'd take over Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen and Lamar just went head-to-head. Lamar's got a great defense. Allen's got more weapons. Allen wins, and he does it in more of a traditional style that we know works. Lamar is trying to prove that what he can do works. It may work, and maybe he needs more help, but we need to see him prove it. And finally, here's the controversial one, I imagine, Justin Herbert. Guys, Justin Herbert is 22 years old. He just played for a coach that was so bad that the coach no longer has his job. They had the handcuffs on him all year. He does have weapons. Herbert has weapons that Lamar doesn't have, no doubt about it. But Justin Herbert, not just the eye test where his talent pops off the screen, with the handcuffs on, right? They didn't really let him do his thing. As a 22-year-old, just threw 31 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. So the 67% completion. So the numbers are there. And then when you just watch him throw that ball, Herbert, if I was starting a franchise, like if Trevor Lawrence turns out to be everything we think he is, he as a rookie will look as good as Justin Herbert. Herbert's already what people are hoping Trevor Lawrence is going to be. And when I look at Stephen A., you have compared him to who? Dan Marino. I've heard guys on our network compare him to Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's quite Marino or Mahomes, but it is instructive that those are the names we're using. Those are the 7 guys I would take before Lamar.
Jeff Saturday, do you see what I have to deal with? I'm listening to Mr. Cliff, Mr. Ravine, now have Tom Brady as number 2 on the list. This is what I have to deal with, Jeff. I just have to deal. We've heard you. This is what I have to deal with. That's number 1. Hell no. Listen. Here's the deal. I'm not taking Justin Herbert over Lamar Jackson. Not yet. I'm sorry. I know he can fling the football. It's cool. I get it. But damn it, I'm not taking him over Lamar Jackson. That's number 1. Josh Allen, I got a lot of faith in Josh Allen. I really, really like this guy. But it's still, I'm not sold on him to that degree as of yet. The Russell Wilsons, the Deshaun Watsons, the Patrick Mahomes, that's a gimme. For one game, a Tom Brady, of course, even though I think over the course of 16 games, I'm going to look at the mobility of Lamar Jackson and not summarily dismiss that. So there's 3 to 4 guys definitively I would tell you I would take before Lamar Jackson. But I will remind you, Max Kellerman, it's kind of hard listening to you say these things when I don't know anybody that has raved more about Lamar Jackson and what he has done in the regular season than you. And excuse me, and this is why we saw Justin Herbert. It's not like Justin Herbert and it just showed up. It's not like Josh Allen just showed up last week. You watched them all year, and just weeks ago you were talking about Lamar Jackson. So this is what I have to deal with, Jeff Saturday. I'm a bit confused.
Lot of faith in Lamar.
No, we heard you. I'm a bit confused, nevertheless, Jeff. But we could talk about Max another day. I'm just going to be of the mindset. I could give you like 5 of those guys, but Justin Herbert, Josh Allen still questionable, and Tom Brady only for a game, not over the course of a 16-game season at this stage in his career. For all the things that Max spent 3 years mentioning. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, listen, it was interesting when I was listening to you talk about Justin Herbert, Max. I have the same argument for Lamar Jackson. I feel like he's playing handcuffed right now with the people that they've surrounded him with. I love the run game, the run scheme. I think all of that is fantastic. I think you give him some true weapons. If you gave him what Herbert had with the Chargers in Baltimore, wow, right? Like now it's different level scary. You got 2 dudes who can go take top off and make plays for you and do those things, and then you let him use his legs and make plays that way. Because I think what gets lost in translation of having a quarterback like Lamar Jackson is this. The fatigue that happens to his body is completely different than a Justin Herbert and honestly even a Josh Allen to a degree. I know Allen is athletic and likes to get out, but they don't have the same amount of designed runs. Like I almost equate Lamar Jackson back to Cam Newton early on, right? Where they were using him in 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts and 3rd and 5, and he's just getting his body beat up and then you're asking him to be a pocket passer. Like the ask, I think, for Lamar Jackson is greater. That's my one hang up when we start comparing him to other quarterbacks is if you give him those same type of guys on the outside, what does that do to open up his game? I think that's honestly where Baltimore has to focus is we got to go get and I heard their general manager talk about, chasing the wide receiver, the one wide receiver, whatever it is. That's true. You do need that guy because it opens up and it takes some of the pressure off of Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, continues to show up. And everybody's like, well, when you stop their run game, well, yeah, because who's going to go win on his outside consistently? Who's going to catch it every time he throws it to him? Like, there's so many asks for me. I feel the same way about Lamar Jackson as you do Justin Herbert. The potential is insane. You want to pay him, get him situated, and then get his money right so you can go get him all the guys to really let this offense open up. Because I'm telling you, man, to try to cover him with his legs and arm without putting all the emphasis on him would be absolutely insane.
Jeff, that may be right, and it's not a knock against Lamar. I just need to see him do it with those weapons. I think he can, too. As I said, I have great faith in him. I got to see him do it with those weapons. And I'll say this. I am higher on Herbert than most, and I think most people are very high on him. I believe the top 5 quarterbacks next year won't include Josh Allen, and it's nothing about Josh Allen that's bad. I just think Herbert is ascending that fast. So that's the pick I expected people to say, Justin Herbert, that's how much I think of him. And until I see Lamar do it, he won a playoff game, that's good. Right. But under pressure, after what we just saw, give me Tom Brady.
Let's all honor Kobe Bryant today and bring that Mamba mentality to every single thing you do. Rest in peace, legend. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. We had some other champions in action trying to make it to a Super Bowl. Was Aaron Rodgers. Didn't happen. He said he's unsure about his future in Green Bay after Tom Brady and the Bucs knocked the Packers out of the running on Sunday for his second Super Bowl. Brett Favre had this to say. Listen.
I wouldn't pay much attention to it. I think frustration, disappointment, hurt, pain, all were in that sound bite. Look, there's no way the Packers would do anything to jeopardize losing Aaron. Unless Aaron just chooses to retire, which I would be shocked. The guy's playing better now than he's ever played, and without him, you certainly wouldn't have been even close to where you were yesterday. And I think the same will go for next year. And it's really the next few years if he chooses to play. I wouldn't pay much attention to what he said.
The Packers have had 2 Super Bowls, but Hall of Fame quarterback play now for 29 straight years. Our next guest knows about Hall of Fame quarterback play, playing all those years with Peyton Manning. Our guy, Jeff Saturday. Good to see you, Jeff. We'll get to you in just a moment, sir. Stephen A., should we care what Favre thinks on this subject of Aaron Rodgers?
No. And I've said that early in the show. And I don't mean disrespect to Brett Favre by saying that. I want to be very clear about that. What I'm saying is that Brett Favre was treated entirely different by the Green Bay Packers than Aaron Rodgers has been treated by the Green Bay Packers, in my estimation. And based on that, it's 2 completely different experiences. Yes, he starred for the organization. Yes, he was a Super Bowl champion for the organization. Yes, they drafted Aaron Rodgers while he was there, even though Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years, all of this other stuff. But Brett Favre was basically deified in Green Bay land. The organization, the fans, and everyone in between. Because he was Brett Favre, he was treated entirely differently. Aaron Rodgers, from the time that he has gotten there, from the time that he has been the quarterback for this franchise, there have been elements of disrespect that has seeped out of the Packers organization for years. Management telling them to shut up and play. We make the decisions, not you. Do your job. Their hesitancy in giving him his money initially before they ultimately gave him a huge contract years down the road. You draft Jordan Love. You never draft a wide receiver in the first round for him to target, et cetera, and then to cap everything off. Not only did you start this season by not drafting him on a wide receiver, but drafting Jordan Love, then you turn around. And what do? On a 4th and goal, with the opportunity to tie the game, you're down 8 in an NFC championship game, knowing that the alternative is to give Tom Brady the football. You're not asking Tom Brady to score, Jeff Saturday. You're not asking him to kick a field goal or to score a touchdown. No. All you need for Tom Brady to do is to get a first down, if not two, because they had 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. Okay, that's all you're asking to do. And you choose that option by kicking a field goal as opposed to looking at Aaron Rodgers and saying, you that bad man, it's your show. Take us there. You haven't done it yet. You had a couple of opportunities you missed. We gonna give this fork down to you. This is your team. You didn't do that. To me, it was the ultimate disrespect. It was the nail in the coffin. And as far as I'm concerned, even though they're not that stupid, they won't get rid of him. Of course not. But if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I let him know I don't want to be here. I really would.
Well, those are not bad arguments. But if the question is, do I care what Brett Favre thinks about this? I do. Like, let me see. Has there been any other longtime Packers quarterback who's won a Super Bowl in Green Bay where his successor was drafted in the first round to replace him while he still had plenty of gas in the tank and then was eventually actually the difference is you talk about respect. Favre was shown the door. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been shown the door yet. So do I put stock in what that quarterback might have to say about the state of mind of the guy who's in his exact same position? Of course I do.
Yeah.
What?
He couldn't make up his mind whether he wanted to retire. He used to hold them hostage during training camp. Jeff Saturday, am I wrong about that? He used to sit up there and go, I don't know whether I want to play or not or whatever. That's what he did the last 2-3 years in Green Bay.
And then Aaron Rodgers, who'd been holding the clipboard for several years and was a first-round pick and turned out to be one of the best who ever did it, was ready, and Favre was gone. So do I put stock in the interpretation of what Aaron Rodgers is going through from Brett freaking Favre? Of course I do. And for all the disrespect you say they've shown Aaron Rodgers, and I agree. I think Favre was a little more loved than Aaron Rodgers, also by the fans. And I don't think it was deserved. I think Rodgers is a little better than Favre. But I think when Favre does have that just draw the play up in the dirt with the stick, having fun out there thing, that is infectious. People do like that. And Rodgers took a more cerebral approach. They were both all-time greats. Do I think Favre's opinion that Aaron Rodgers, when he calms down, is going to see basically, hey, we won a playoff game last year with 13 wins. We won 2 playoff games this year with 13 wins. Maybe I should stick around? Yeah, or that he should stick around? Yeah, for all your talk about no first-round picks for receivers, that's true, they didn't. But Jordy Nelson and Greg Jennings and Devontae Adams, he's had some guys who can catch the ball, and he's in a pretty good situation right now. And furthermore, Jeff, I don't think Favre is talking with an agenda here. Would I take it with a grain of salt if Favre was kind of downing Aaron Rodgers somehow, or otherwise speaking out of the side of his mouth, where I felt like he had an agenda to make himself look better, or Aaron Rodgers look worse? Yeah,